Hello, my name is Paul Challenger and today I'm talking with Malcolm Rhys-Jones. We're going to be talking about a book all about Malcolm's experiences, written by Malcolm's daughter Nicola, and it's called Walking in Their Footsteps. You can get this book via the Facebook page Nicola Jones Author. Presumably it'll be on Amazon as well, and via the website. An incredible read, an incredible story. It's over to Malcolm. Malcolm.
So where do you want me to start?
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm 70 years old at the moment. I was 61 when the experience first started. It was a Saturday. We'd been down to Newport, and I wasn't feeling very well. My head was spinning. I was dizzy, and we were going to stay at the White Sisters. Only I came home because I had to drive. I was sat down and I thought, oh, I'll go out the garden, a bit of fresh air. So I went out the garden, and the strangest thing, it was like if I was being pushed. I couldn't stop myself. I started walking. I tried to, as I passed the window, I tried to get my wife because she was sat in my ear, but I just couldn't stop. I just walked down the street. I wondered what was happening to me. I didn't know. I met a neighbour. He just walked past me. He didn't even. It was like if he didn't see me. I got to the cemetery, and the first thing I thought was my mum and dad is there, and there'd been vandalism over there, and people were doing. So I thought something had happened to their stone or something, or my sister. And I got through the cemetery, the old part of the cemetery, and I come to the new part. I walked down the driveway towards the new part, and it was like if I walked into an iceberg. It was freezing. I could hardly move. I could even feel the cold air as I was breathing. In my, when you're breathing, you go out in the cold. I could feel the cold air. And
this was in May, wasn't it? So
yeah, May.
Weather was quite mild.
It was quite. Yeah, it was quite a mild evening. Yeah, and I kept moving through the coldness, and then all of a sudden it was like if it disappeared, and I was stood in what would have been what was the new part of the cemetery, but the cemetery wasn't there. It was just an open area, and I remember all around was bright. The best way to explain it is, when you see a cartoon, the colours, how bright the colours are in a cartoon, and each colour seemed to drift into the next, like a shimmery kind of thing. Each colour seemed to drift into, like into the next colour, and I looked at the top of the hill, and the sun, it was huge. It was massive. It took up most of the and it was set on the top of the horizon, like, and I could see a shadow in front of it, just a shadow kind of thing, and my heart was going like a drum. I was pounding. I didn't know where it was, what was happening. And all of a sudden, I started to walk up the hill, go, well, really fast. I was moving And I got so far up, and a beam of light or something seemed to come from this shadow. It took me off my feet, and the next thing I know, I'm back where I started.
In the garden here?
No, back at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I didn't know what was that. First thing I thought was aliens or something like that. It was, you know, that was the kind of thing that went through my mind. And then I started walking again, and faster and faster, and I got heart problems, and I thought I thought I was going to have I thought I was going to have an heart attack at the time. I got so far up the hill, and I thought, if I shut my eyes and I can't see what's happening,
It'll go away.
maybe it'll go away.
Yeah.
And I shut my eyes, and all the pain went. I didn't have no pain in my chest, and I kind of fell down onto the ground, and I was sat on the ground, and I everything was solid, you know what I mean? And I was afraid to open my eyes, and I was there for a while, and then I opened my eyes, and I got up, and it was exactly the same, only I was on the top of the hill, and I could feel the sensation somebody was there, and I turned, and that's where I see Caters and the little girl, Ajay. They were the only thing that I could identify them was the face. The rest of their shape was just like a blue kind of energy.
Right.
It was just, the only thing visible on them was
that
you could see the shape of the bodies, but the actual thing was the face.
So the shape of the body is emitting a kind of light then?
Yeah, yeah. And
so, up to that point then, you're about 60 years of age with a little bit of an angina problem.
Yeah.
And you've never experienced anything like that before?
No.
So what did you do then as a career?
I was a bookmaker till I retired with ill health. Yeah. I had my own business in the village. Yeah.
So that's quite a mathematical job, isn't it? Very brain orientated, analytical type job. And what about religion? Did you have any religion or spiritual background?
Obviously, I believe in God, and I'd never had no spiritual thing. I'd never experienced anything. Nothing out of the abnormal anyway.
So you're just a regular man, a regular occupation.
Yeah.
Not everybody has their own business, not everybody has their own bookmaker's business, but otherwise, wife, couple of children,
all
same
normal,
house for 40 odd years.
Yeah.
Beautiful garden you've got. And you live in this village, Welsh name Gethley Gare.
Yeah.
Previously had a Roman fort back in 40 AD, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
40.
70 AD.
Yeah.
Around that time, I think.
Yeah.
And you're living about 300 yards from
the fort,
the site of the old Roman fort.
Yeah.
So in more modern times, they've built a big church on the corner next to the fort, had a limited sized graveyard, and then at some point the council extended the graveyard, and that's where you went from your own back garden. Somebody controlled you, if you like. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but, but you couldn't feel your body from your torso down.
No control over myself. Yeah.
They moved your legs, wherever they were.
Yeah.
They moved you and walked you 300 metres. Your neighbour who normally speaks to you, and your wife who was in the house, didn't communicate with you.
No.
I couldn't. Do you think you were visible?
I don't know. I tried to talk to Wayne, because I passed him on the same pavement, and he just walked past me, and.
But he normally speaks to you, doesn't he?
We're neighbours.
Yeah, neighbours. So he offered no communication.
No, he just walked straight past me as if he he didn't see me or anything. It was strange. I can't explain it. I don't know whether I obviously passed him because I ended up in the cemetery. So,
but have you asked him since whether?
I did ask him, did he see me?
Yeah.
And he said no. So I don't.
So he either couldn't recollect the date, or he just genuinely didn't see
He
it.
just didn't see.
So you found yourself awake in the new part of the cemetery.
Yeah.
Were you totally awake then, in control of your own legs to get back home?
No, the first time I ended up back on the bottom of the hill. I tried to turn around and go, but I couldn't. It was like if my feet were stuck to the ground. I couldn't turn around.
So willpower would not allow
I
you
could only
to get
see
your body moving.
Yeah, I could only see straight ahead of me.
Right.
And it had that feeling as if when I was going up the hill, it had that feeling as somebody was pushing me up and somebody was pushing me back.
All right.
Because that's when that's what kind of stopped me. When I shut my eyes, I had that feeling that I was being pushed both ways.
And at some point you thought you might be having an angina attack or heart attack. Even.
When I opened my eyes, I could feel no pain. And the first thing that came into my mind was that I was dead, and I could feel myself breathing. And then I thought, do you breathe when you're dead? You don't. We don't know, do we? We don't know what happens. Even though I could still feel myself breathing.
Yeah.
I felt no pain from that I had before when I was being forced.
Yeah.
So it was strange, and this is one of the things I said to when I turned around and I recognised the faces from the dream straight away.
Right.
And obviously I thought they're angels or something like that. And I spoke. I asked who they were and what they want, but there was no reply. And even though I was afraid, looking at the faces,
they were reassuring.
They didn't
Yeah.
I in one way I was afraid, and in another I wasn't afraid of the faces. They were like if I'd known them then, you know what I mean? And they didn't show any aggression or anything. And as I spoke to them, they give me the impression that they could hear me, the way their faces were, and all of a sudden, then the little girl, who first of all she seemed to be kind of behind the man, and not behind, but you know when a child is with his parents, it's into the parent,
yeah.
And that's how she seemed first of all, and then she held her hand out, and I could see the fingers then, the digits,
right.
The 6 digits.
1 thumb, 5 fingers on.
5 fingers on the hand.
An extra digit.
Yeah, and even though the colour, I could see the mark of the birthmark.
And she had a birthmark.
Yeah, and I at first I was afraid to reach out, because I thought if I reach out, that's me gone, you know, and all the thoughts go through your mind of your family, your wife, your children, and all that. You'll never see them again, and I was kind of upset.
Similar to a near-death experience there, except that you weren't dying, you didn't die.
Yeah.
And you came back. What time of day do you think this was?
This was early evening.
So the sun shouldn't be on the horizon then, and the sun that you saw was 2 or 3 times larger than it should have been.
I'd never seen anything like it in my life. It was massive. So and you could look at it. It was, you know, when the sun is setting, you've got that
Time period
orangey
when
colour where you
look,
can actually look at it.
Yeah.
And eventually I thought that there's the only way I'm going to sort anything out is by reaching out, like the dream. So I reached out and I touched the child's hand, and I felt a tingling sensation,
Like electricity?
like a static.
Yeah.
That's how it felt, run over my body.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I heard the voice of Katus then. And as he spoke to me, it was kind of in my, it wasn't physical speaking. I could hear him up here.
Yeah.
And when I answered him, I seemed to answer him the same, not
Just thinking the answer.
thinking
you've said something.
Just
Yeah.
I would say it, but my lips wouldn't move.
Yeah.
And like he told me who he was and what he wanted me to do.
Right.
And
So if we go back a little while, that was the first experience that you had that altered in a physical capacity.
yeah,
But earlier in the book, Nicola describes a series of lucid dreams.
yeah.
So can you talk about those?
Yeah, the dreams. It's the dream started with fog. It's just could see nothing, and then all of a sudden, out of the fog, the face of Katus just come out, and I woke up because it frightened me. It was like a scary dream. I woke up, and I got up, I went to the toilet, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning. And I thought nothing about it. I think that was on I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Was it Wednesday, Thursday? On Thursday, I had the same dream again. And then on Friday, the child came.
As well as the other face?
As well as the other face.
Yeah.
And I see the child there as well. So I begin to wonder what was happening. Each time is 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was talking to my uncle, and I was on about the birthmark, because I could vaguely remember my Auntie Marita with the mark on her hand.
Right.
And I was sure my gran had it as well. So I spoke to my uncle, and he confirmed that Marita and his mother both had this orange birthmark on their hand.
Like a strawberry mark or something.
Well,
isn't it?
it looked like it looked like the sun I seen. The same
right, yeah.
colour,
Yeah.
round, just a round, huge round mark on their hand, like a setting sun. And my uncle said to me then, Marita's granddaughter had just lost a baby. So I thought he broke my dreams.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
the baby dying, he
Yeah.
broke my dreams.
That's
Uh,
the
so-
phrase in Wales, that is.
Yeah.
Is it common across Britain? Break my dream?
Yeah,
It is common, is it?
until Saturday. And then what happened Saturday?
And Saturday was the experience we just talked about.
Which I couldn't stop, yeah.
Right, so you've never had dreams like that before?
No.
Not one to have lucid dreams at all?
No.
And what about change of medication? There wasn't anything for your angina?
No, I was on the same medication.
So everything was normal, apart from
Yeah.
you witnessed a
Yeah.
series of dreams waking you up at 4 a.m.
4
every
a.m.
day,
every day, yeah.
showing you two faces, man
Yeah.
and a child,
Yeah.
fog, birthmark.
Mm.
So when you saw the people appear in this blue light under that huge sun
Mm.
on the particular afternoon or early evening,
Yeah.
you felt a familiarity then with these two people?
I felt it. I also sensed that there was someone else there,
Right.
but I couldn't see him. I couldn't see anybody else, because when I was going up the hill, in front of the sun was a huge shape of it. What I don't know what it was at the time. It was just something that was shadowing part of the sun,
Right.
and I had a feeling that somebody else was there.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
you
couldn't
couldn't see anything
But I couldn't see
distinctly.
him.
A fascinating story, Malcolm. So, prior to that, on the front of the book, there's a picture of a Roman coin.
Yeah.
Now that goes back further in the story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's connected with the story.
With the story, yeah.
So what's all that about then?
Well, I think it was 1993. I was detecting with a mate. They had just started to grade the cemetery off.
Council's just acquired a plot of land.
Plot
then,
of land,
didn't
yeah. And I detected in that field hundreds of times over the past. I never ever found anything.
they? And that field is right next to the old church. Has been there a couple of hundred years.
Yeah, well, it's
right below
directly below the Roman fort, yeah.
fortress.
And a mate of mine at the time, he worked for the council, and he had permission from the council for us to detect there, and from the church people, and they did it all in about 7 or 8 days. The whole lot graded it off, put the paths and everything. So we went over there in the evening, and the coin on the book was the first Roman coin I found. I found lots after there, but that was the first actual one. I took it to the museum to be recorded and identified.
That's the National Museum in Cardiff, is it?
Yeah, and they said the coin looked like it'd been in heat or something. It had been in sometime. It had been in heat because the surface was
Pitted or something.
bubbled like.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was in 1993. After I spoke to Catus, and he told me who he was and where he'd come from, and I found myself in the pitch black, stood in the cemetery on the top of the hill, but I didn't know who I was. I couldn't think who I was. I could remember what he'd said and things, and that's all I could remember. I couldn't remember my name, who I was. I could see the outline of the cemetery because everything was back as it was. The stones and all the little fairy lights was flickering, and I was just confused. I didn't know where I was, who I was, and.
Fairy lights being street lights?
No, when they put the little solar lights in the cemetery.
Oh, I've never seen them.
Well, there's lots of them.
There's lots of them.
I hadn't seen them before, but in the dark, it's like a grotto. It's all different colour little lights.
So you've been moved down there in the late afternoon.
Yeah, and now it's dark.
The sun has gone down. What time would that be? About 7 o'clock maybe?
No, it's about 9 o'clock in the night. Yeah, when I got back here about half past. I think it was about half past. I'm not
conscious
sure.
Awareness was gone from.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Maybe.
I looked. I was looking at the things, and I couldn't see where I was or what I was. And I looked down, and at the back of the stone, the name Malcolm. And I said Malcolm, and as soon as I said Malcolm, I knew what it was. I came back. I was back. It was pitch black. I was, and I was at the time. I was feeling really, well, not scared, but exhausted. You know what I mean? I was kind of really exhausted, and so I come home.
Physically walked home.
Yeah,
300 yards or
I got home, and Elizabeth looked at me, and she could see something was wrong because she said I didn't have no colour. I was white as a sheet, and I was shaking a bit, and so I actually told her what had happened, and I said, don't say anything to anybody, you know, keep it to ourselves, because I didn't understand. I didn't know what I believed at the time. I knew what had happened, but I didn't know
how to explain it.
Whether I was dreaming, whether I was having some kind of a breakdown. I just didn't know. You know, it was confusing.
Did you still have your shop at that time?
No, I'd retired then.
You had retired by then? But
Yeah, I'd retired then, yeah. Yeah, and...
so in that event, you actually had the name Cato
Catus. Yeah, he
Catus.
told me who the girl. Oh, he was Catus,
Catus.
and the girl's name.
Yeah.
Um,
And what was her name? Can we remember?
Agia.
Agia.
Yeah.
With a H.
I don't know
isn't
whether I
it?
pronounced it right.
Well, we'll guess that.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, he told me who he was and how we'd come here and then what happened then was I kept having bits of vision. Well, first of all, once people had known about the actual what had happened to me.
Yeah.
My mate down the road, he said, I told him, and I told him where the stone was, because the stone was where I actually came back was exactly where I'd found the coin.
Yeah.
Right on the corner.
So you found the coin in 1993.
Yeah.
And then in 2007, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Roughly where you came out of this trance control state is roughly where you'd found the coin.
The coin, yeah. So
With your name on the gravestone.
Yeah, I told my mate Steve down here, and he said, oh, that's his mother-in-law's brother. So
He was actually a relative then?
of
an
my
in-law.
friend, yeah.
Of the friend.
Yeah, and how I got the name Malcolm was when I was born. My mother wanted to call me Frank after her father, Francis after her father. My father wanted to call me Reese because he was Reese, the eldest. His father was Reese, and his father. So there was four generations of Reese. So my father wanted to call me Reese, but because they were arguing, when I asked my father, my father said his mother said, for God's sake, stop arguing, call him Malcolm. And that's how I got the name Malcolm. There's no Malcolm in the family, or I asked my mother and father, did they know any? They had no friends that were called. So that's how I got my name. Well, apparently, the Malcolm had died. Had only just died. A couple of months, I think he'd just died a couple of months, and his father was called Reese, and apparently his father wanted to call him Reese, but his mother wanted to call him Malcolm after her father.
Right.
So that's how he got his name Malcolm.
Was Reese on the gravestone that you saw? Just Malcolm?
No, just Malcolm on the back.
Right.
So it came to me then that I had to wait for Malcolm to die so that I could come, so that I could come back from where I was, and the coincidences with the name Reese, his father Reese, they wanted to call him Reese, and the boy had died suddenly. I didn't know him, but then Steve showed us pictures then of when his uncle had died. His nan was 93, so she didn't go to the funeral, so she asked her daughter to take some photographs of the flowers and things.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether Nicola got a copy of the photo of you.
Yeah.
When they took photos of the flowers, Brenda, which is his sister, was stood and behind the stone, and I didn't know what they were, but a great beam of light came out of the ground, and in the original picture you can see all the circles, because I had somebody who does photography have a look at it, and he said no, it's just the picture, there's nothing wrong with the camera.
Yeah.
And then somebody else said, oh, they're orbs.
All right.
And when you look, it was dusk when they took these photos, but Brenda, who was behind, was in the light, his sister.
Right.
As the orbs went, as the light went up, she was stood directly behind the light, so it was dusk all around,
But
she was in the light.
All right.
Yeah, so
Couldn't have been any of these solar panels you were talking about, could it?
no, it was.
Have you got a photo of that?
She got the photo. It was
We'll have a look at that.
the copy. The original is better than the copy,
Yeah.
because in the original you can actually see the spiral kind of thing. Yeah,
Very interesting.
but that made me think then that it was, what's his name? He had to wait for him to die
Just to bring you out of this trance
to bring me
state
out of the thing
and
for the name.
notice the coincidences
Yeah.
then. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, but there was lots of coincidences, wasn't
Yeah.
there? I kept having. I would see little bits. I'm awake, and into my mind would come,
Like a video tape
you know, like if
playing,
you see a
flashback of some kind.
a trailer of a film,
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
All bits that didn't make sense to me. They just didn't. What was happening just didn't make sense to
Where
me.
would they take place? Would you be in this room or in the other room?
I'd be anywhere. I'd be in the garden. I'd be walking.
Yeah.
I'd be out. All of a sudden, in the night, all of a sudden, I'd get these.
Like a trailer. We call it a trailer.
Like
Movie trailer.
a trailer, yeah.
At that point, you didn't know if it was a flashback of your own life or anything.
No. I just thought, I just didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
And then, of course, each event, then I would see
A bit more.
fully through.
Yeah. How many events do you think you had then, or in total?
I see the one at the cemetery first, which was kind of all the way through. I see the birth of Igea, the death of her, and
Herculaneum as well. You experienced something, didn't you? Was that
Yeah.
the same thing?
yeah, in Herculaneum,
It was more of a waking sensation, according to the book.
I walked up the street, yeah. Apparently the last building in Herculaneum to be excavated was Galba's house.
The very house you needed to go to.
The very house I needed to go. I knew his mother was there, but I didn't, and I know she was involved with Galba, but I didn't know that Galba had an house there,
Right.
because I'd never been there before, and so it was a coincidence. I walked up the street, and I got to the top, because it was the last building on the top of the street, and I could see.
So did you have the same sort of trance-like experience, or was it more of an awaking experience? We'll come to that in a little while, I'm sure.
Everything. The place wasn't ruined. It was
Back as
the
it
house
was,
was back as it was, and there was a woman stood there, and she was a spitting image of my grandmother.
Well,
A spitting image of her, and she came towards me, and then all of a sudden I had the urge to run and things, and it was like if me and her was running down the street, and I kept looking behind me, and all I could see was a dark cloud.
it's a volcano then.
Yeah,
Vesuvius.
and then all of a sudden everything went black, and then it was light again.
So you've had about 3 or 4 of these controlled
Yeah.
trance-like episodes.
Yeah.
Any other kind of episodes? You've had lots of flashbacks when you're
Well, with
meditative or...
with a woman, she, I felt she was inside me.
Right, so you're looking out of her eyes. so
I
to
felt,
speak.
I felt that she was part of me,
Yeah.
and I got out of the out of Herculaneum, and of course Nicola asked what happened, and I just broke down. Because I'd seen my grandmother.
Wow.
You know, I just seen my grandmother, and
she's already over the other side.
Yeah, you know, the same young face that we got on the wall there with my grandmother.
Wow.
And I just broke down. I
So it's
couldn't.
powerful story.
Yeah.
And can you induce that trance-like episode?
Yeah, what do
Can
you
you
mean?
make it happen? Can you say, right,
No.
and then if I meditate, I can move
No,
over it? You can't induce it.
I can't induce it.
You can't make it
I
happen.
got to wait for
So
it
you
to
wait for it to
happen, yeah.
unfold. And so there's lucid dreams as a meditation, whether you're awake or not. You're undertaking some sort of task that doesn't require a lot of concentration.
Yeah.
Allows your mind to see these
Yeah.
trailers of movies, and then there's this direct experience of where you're controlled.
Yeah.
So how did they unfold the story then, and what is the story?
Well, Catus came here as a surgeon with the Roman army.
Right, so we're going back to
His father,
40 to 70 AD,
his mother,
something like that.
his mother was a slave. His mother was born in Gethliger.
So she was British.
A sister of Bran, who
Right.
comes into the story
as
later.
well, right.
She was taken from here. She became a slave in the house of Galba.
And that's Catius's mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she gets involved with Galba, and she has a child, Catus.
Right.
And Galba he treats the boy well. He's a bit frail as a child, and Galba is elderly, and Catus is fascinated by medicine. And
so he's educated over in Rome then, is it?
no, he goes. Galba sends him to Greece
Right.
to be educated.
So he's born in Italy,
Yeah,
of a Roman father, British mother,
yeah,
who was formerly a slave, may or
Yeah.
may not have been
yeah,
at that time. Very common, I think, if you read the history of the
yeah,
interaction of ancient
yeah.
Britain
Britain, yeah,
and Rome. And the son then takes an interest in medicine and is educated in medicine in
yeah.
Greece.
and
At some point in time he's come back to Britain.
yeah. When Galba is in trouble, he sends Catus's mother to his villa in Herculaneum.
Right. So Herculaneum is close to Mount Vesuvius.
Yeah, really close.
It's closer than Pompeii.
God,
And
I couldn't take my eyes off it the whole time I was there.
And Herculaneum and Pompeii were both destroyed
Yeah.
in the volcanic eruption. And Pompeii is famous because of the way they filled the cavities of
the bodies,
humans that are disintegrated, but the cavity was left by the dust. But in Herculaneum, they left the bones and got rid of the dust. So it's slightly different.
It would have been it was near the sea, so I think the body of Catus's mother was just swept out into wherever.
So,
because I felt nothing to say that she was there.
Yeah. So Catius then, as a young man, ends up with the Roman army at Gethliger, which happened to be the home settlement of his mother.
His mother, yeah.
Where's the little girl come into it then?
The little girl is his daughter, yeah. She's born. That was a strange episode where I see her born. She was. When I seen her born, she looked like she was dead. They sent for Catus because he was involved with the child's mother, and he kind of brought her back to. He did some strange things with water and stuff, and it's a job to remember it all. But
probably lifted her up by the ankles, smacked her bum.
Yeah.
well, he
made a scream.
Born like a stillbirth.
Yeah.
And he must have done something
And
then
revived her.
to revive her, yeah.
quite miraculous at the time.
Deliberate.
Yeah,
Presumably
which the people who were there couldn't.
They thought it was black magic or something.
Yeah, they thought the child was special, but then when they see her with the fingers,
Yeah. On both hands or just one
on
hand?
both hands, yeah. And she got, she had, because her grandfather was Brand, she kind of inherited his druid kind of things. She could do things, and magical things, or what I thought was magical things. Seen some things that were really hard to believe.
In these visions,
in the visions, yeah. Especially later on in the story, I seen things that were.
Did she grow then to a full-grown woman?
No, to a child, to a six or 7-year-old child, and then she was.
Her mother was British. Her grandfather was British.
British, yeah.
And her father was Roman.
Her father was half and half, yeah.
Where does it go then, the story?
Well,
there's something about a big stone, isn't there? Mein Katuk.
Yeah, Mein Katuk, yeah. In the Mein Katuk, where it is now, is not the original place where the stone was. The stone was on top of the hill where the church is now.
Right.
And before the Romans come, it was surrounded with standing stones, and the stone was in the middle. And the cup marks in it are every time somebody was a chief or in charge, they would make their mark in the cup. They would make a cup mark in the stone, so that when they were, what they did with the bodies was when they died, they kind of bled them, thinking that the soul was in the blood, and the blood would run into the cups. Originally, the stone had mark. Each cup was connected with a mark, so the blood could run from one to the other. And they believed that would put their spirit into the earth, into the underworld. And if you look carefully at the stone, you will still see one or two cut marks across where to allow the blood to flow. Where the blood would flow from one to the other.
What does this stone look like then?
It's a huge, I suppose, how do you call it, rectangular or round? No, it's not round, is it? Right angled kind of stone.
Looking at the picture, is about a foot deep, maybe more.
Yeah, it's a bit more than that, yeah.
So it's about 6 or 8 feet long,
yeah,
4 feet wide maybe.
Yeah. And there was about
to the ground.
50, I think there was 56 marks, cup marks on the stone.
And these cup marks are like little hollows, aren't they?
Yeah. Some of them are barely visible, but Catus is still there. The largest mark there is Catus. That was not Catus, Bran. That was the last time the stone was marked, was with him.
And where'd you get that information from?
From Bran, yeah.
The trance-like state? Or
yeah.
Flashbacks?
Yeah, well, yeah. When I, especially the first time, when I went up to see the stone, because I've lived in Gethiger for 40 odd years, but I'd heard about it, but I'd never gone to see it because I'd never been there. So it was the first time I visited it. I brought my cousin up here because I thought, obviously we're related. He's my father's brother's boy, and he's into Reiki and this kind of thing. And he could feel nothing, but he used his crystal. He used the crystal, and he asked the stone, would they communicate with him? And the crystal said no. So he was convinced that they didn't want to speak to him.
So what exactly have we got here then? I can see indentations.
Yeah.
Are they called the cups, are they?
They're called the cups, yeah.
And which one is Cato's cup?
This is Catus, the bigger one, yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. If you look carefully, you can still see
the channel.
The channels which would have joined all these cups together at one time.
Some are quite shallow, aren't they?
Yeah.
This
is why I say this is this stone was created over a period of 2,000 years, and not what the museum says rock art. Rock art, if it was rock art, these would have still been visible, but they're not. And if you look at the stone, you can actually see how they've broke down over the years, and how they've, how these have disappeared and these are shallow. So that's what it is. This would have been this. I would call it the stone of the rulers of each time a new chieftain. He would make his mark. This is his mark to leave. When he leaves, this is his mark.
But you said Bran's is not on you. Is he on? Is Bran on you?
Yeah, that's Bran.
I thought you said that was
That's Cater, though.
No, that's Bran. That is Cater's is Nonya. Bran, that's his father.
All right, so we got the names wrong.
You get confused.
Yeah, I got confused. Catus is Nonya. Catus was a Roman. These are the. Bran is the last mark to be made on the stone. After his mark, there was no one. The Romans were in charge, and there was no chieftains to carry on the tradition. So his was a mark. I don't know. Did I say Catus was it?
No, I did. I thought probably I led you into that one.
But that's Bran's mark. Yeah.
That one looks quite decent as well. Do you know who that one is?
No, when I seen the faces, the only two faces I recognised was Bran and his father, and they are together there. But his don't seem as deep as that. But there might be more wear on that side of the stone than that side, like. Yeah, so when I visit the stone, as soon as I get near it, I can feel my heart racing. It's a strange sense. I can actually hear my heart beating.
Do you think that comes in from outside of you, or is it coming in from inside?
Inside, I'm not sure, but it feels like I can feel it inside. Yeah. And when I get to the stone has a same heartbeat as me. It's like if we share the same. I feel this. Me and the stone are in rhythm with the heartbeat.
So you can feel this resonance on an atomic level.
Yeah, I can feel the stone as if it's got an heart.
So the cells of your body are physically vibrating at the same rate as the atoms of the stones.
The stone is always warm to me, even on the coldest day. When I touch the stone, it's warm.
And it's about 300 metres from here, so maybe more.
Yeah, a bit more.
The cemeteries are about 300 metres.
Yeah.
And this is about a quarter of a mile away or so.
Yeah, probably about a quarter of a mile.
Were you ever taken there in a trance-like condition then, or?
No. I knew
You're always awake.
I was awake when I got there.
In control of yourself.
Yeah.
But on the book, I think describes.
I see when I have seen things there, but I've never been taken there.
Right.
I've gone there.
But you've lived in this area all these years, and you've never been to the stone ever.
No.
Until this
to the thing
episode encouraged you to look it up.
Yeah.
And you couldn't find it at first, according to the book, but you felt yourself guided.
I found myself guided to the stone. Yeah. It was the same with the ones in Anglesey. I seen them.
Yeah.
I knew where they were, but I asked my friend, he's an archaeologist and he works for Cardiff Museum, and I asked him, because he'd been on several digs in Anglesey.
Right.
And
so he knew where the stones were?
No, he didn't know where they were. So, but he did find them for me.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's another story, but it's part of the overall story, but it doesn't actually relate to the Romans and the ancient Britons.
Yeah.
So you've now got a daughter who had a difficult birth.
Yeah.
And she doesn't survive to adulthood. What happened there then?
Well, in the story, Bran
the grandfather.
The grandfather, he's born there just before the Romans come. He's a huge man. In part of the things, I go back to, which is Northern Ireland, where his ancestors came from then, and they seem to be a race of huge 7 odd foot people, and even Bran, even though his father and his brother were of normal size, he looked like a giant compared to them, and he was the child's granddaughter. She was his granddaughter, and he goes away. He has dealings with the Romans, and he ends up going away. He comes back. He doesn't know who the child is. He doesn't know the child's
his
granddaughter.
Daughter. Yeah.
He didn't even know that he had a daughter at the time.
Right.
And we get a darkness over the land, and he convinces the people that to sacrifice the child because of his fingers will bring back the light. For some reason, it was pitch black. The sky was black. There was no sun, and the strange thing is, I'm stood watching, and because I've had intervals in between, I kind of know what's happening.
Right.
I knew because of the
making sense of the trailers
because of the bits and pieces I'd seen before. I knew that she was his granddaughter.
Right.
And it's a terrible sensation because I want to stop him. I want to say stop. I tell him, but I can't.
Because this is all 2,000 years
because
ago.
it had already. I didn't at the time. I was emotional because I knew that he was doing something that he wouldn't have done if he'd known.
Yeah. So you seem to be witnessing live events.
Yeah.
That occurred on the Earth plane 2,000 years.
Yeah, and I couldn't do nothing. I realised then after that it had already happened, so I couldn't change it. I was just witnessing it.
And you could feel the emotion was tangible.
Yeah, I could feel. Yeah, this is it. It was really upsetting. Like, but the child. He sacrifices the child, and he finds out after who she is from her other grandfather. Like, and like I said, that's another part of the story. It goes on, but I witnessed it. It's strange. Like the middle first, the beginning, and then the end. It didn't come as a
chronological story.
Yeah, which was hard to kind of put together. Yeah.
Any of these characters been found in history? Have you found historical record at all about them?
Well, apparently, my mate from the museum, he said Penabrin, there's only one letter different. If translated, would be Edebran. Which I've seen Bran lose his head.
All right.
But I didn't. This is things we found out after.
Penabrin is near here.
It's next village.
Next village is Head of Bran.
Head of Bran. He says.
Bran is it's in the folklore of Wales, isn't it?
Yeah.
Britain, ancient Britain.
Well,
it's a common name
from
history.
History, yeah.
I did try and tell Dad about the story about Bran, and the one that's in the myth, and he says no, it's not the same Bran. It's the same with Cradog.
Yeah.
You know, the ancient warrior Cradog. There's back in the village of Derry. There's a bridge called Cradog's Bridge. So we know that Cradog actually resided in Derry or came to Derry in one point or another. But when I tell Dad about the same Cradog, he says no, it's not the same as his Cradog that's in his story.
Yeah.
Totally different characters.
Yeah. because the other Craddock, he was the leader of the ancient Britons.
Yeah.
But he was defeated by Rome round about that time, and that's how the Romans then, with a treaty, occupied this part of Wales. Galba is an historical figure, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is mentioned in history.
History, yeah.
And he is the father of Catius,
Yeah.
a Roman politician of some kind.
Yeah.
Is he more than just a politician?
Galba was emperor for. He was one of the 4 emperors, only.
So he was an actual emperor of Rome.
Of Rome, yeah.
So he is in history somewhere.
Yeah.
And his property in Herculaneum is identified,
Yeah.
and that's where you ended up. So how did you get from piecing these pieces of story, which didn't come in chronological order, how did you end up from South Wales, ancient Britain, over to Herculaneum, which is in Rome, near Rome, isn't
I
it?
didn't know. The only time I never actually went. The only time I went to Herculaneum is when we
Took a physical holiday.
took a physical holiday. I knew
But
I had to go. I had to know I had to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it told me.
It was Kate's task that he gave to
Yeah.
you, that he wanted to be reunited
With his mother.
With his mother,
Which obviously
and with her granddaughter.
we knew that she died in the
The
Vesuvius
Vesuvius
eruption. So
yeah.
we
Yeah.
thought, oh, we'll go to Herculaneum and Pompeii and do
Oh,
the
nice holiday anyway.
and do the tourist thing.
Yeah.
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 But the thing is, I wanted to go to Pompeii, but I was so upset, don't I? I couldn't.
After Herculaneum,
I wanted to get out of there straight away.
Right, so you only visited Herculaneum, and
Yeah.
probably no reason to visit Pompeii anyway.
Well, I would have liked to, but I
Yeah.
was
That was just you personally.
I was
then,
so
was
afraid of the volcano
Yeah.
because we'd actually booked a taxi,
take us to the
take
tour
us
sites.
to Herculaneum. I wanted to go to Herculaneum first,
it? Right,
and then we'd go to Pompeii after. But after I'd been to Herculaneum, I was so upset, and this volcano frightened me.
right.
I couldn't. The whole time I was there, I couldn't take my eyes off it. It scared me.
And no,
Because of
no
what-
smoke or anything
No,
coming out of it.
because of what
You could taste
what
it,
you
couldn't you?
witnessed. Yeah.
As I was running down the street with and the dark, I could actually taste the sulphur in my mouth.
Wow.
It was a terrible sensation, and then when everything went dark, it's hard to really imagine it. It's frightening. Then, you know what I mean? It's even though you know it's not really happening.
You felt as if it really happened.
I felt like I was there running alongside her.
So what encouraged you to go over to Italy then?
Well, I knew I had to go to Herculaneum. I knew his mother was there,
Right.
and
She was previously a slave.
yeah, I knew she
Connected with-
died in Herculaneum. She
Yeah.
was there. He wanted me to bring her back from there, back here, back home. He couldn't leave, or he wouldn't leave. He just promised his mother when he left that he would come back. When he joined the army, he promised her that he would come back.
Go back to Rome. is
Come
it?
back,
Or to
come
Herculaneum.
back to her.
Yeah.
But he could leave, but Igea couldn't. She was kind of, because of the influence of Bran around as well, she couldn't leave, her spirit couldn't leave you.
Right.
And Kay just wouldn't go without her.
Right.
So that's why he gave me the task to bring back his mother,
Right. So you went to Herculaneum on
And
a
I-
family holiday.
and I brought her back. Yeah.
Previously you described walking through the streets.
Yeah.
Do you want to go back over that again in case we missed
Yeah,
it?
well, yeah. After we'd run down the street, and I'd come back.
Is this you in this present day, or is this you in
This is when
2,000 years ago?
No, when I came back from the experience of the volcano. I'm back in Herculaneum. 2007 or 2000, I can't remember the date. I'm back physically in the street.
Right.
And
you haven't been running, then, had you?
no, I'd been in the thing. I'd been running,
Right.
but
In the physical, you hadn't.
I was still in the same spot when
yeah.
when everything, the darkness had gone.
Yeah. So
And
you probably couldn't run with your heart condition.
no, I think I was just, she was running,
Right.
and I had that sensation that I was running with her,
Yeah.
or I was part of. I couldn't see myself running, so I don't know whether I was part of her running or whether I don't know, but I had that sensation of running.
So when you were looking out of the eyes of somebody 2,000 years previously to see these events unfold, who do you think whose eyes you were looking out of? Who do you think you were there?
I've had lots of I've thought a hell of a lot about the situation, and I thought at one time maybe these are my ancestors. So who am I? I'm part of my mother and father. And I had that sensation that all these parts of people were still in my brain. I'd been born with my ancestors. They are a little bit of them in me.
Yeah.
And that's what I was seeing their memories.
Right.
But I don't know.
So after the running episode with the volcano, presumably the lady was killed by the volcano.
Yeah.
How did you get her spirit or energy or memories or whatever
She was
from Rome to Britain?
She was with me. The whole time we were there,
Yeah.
I could feel her presence.
Right.
And we went up the Palatine Hill,
Yeah.
and she had been there before.
That's Palatine Hills is in Rome.
in
isn't it?
Rome
Yeah.
itself, yeah.
Forum.
And Galba had been an emperor, so she would have been, that would have been part of her life.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So you, after Herculaneum, you, as a family, back to Rome,
back to Rome, yeah.
and you were aware of her energy
With
around
me,
you at
yeah.
that point.
I had that feeling that, especially when we were up on the top there, that she was saying goodbye to Galba.
Right.
That's what's going through my. I was.
Yeah.
She was there with me, and she was saying, I could. You know, I don't know whether it's, but I could sense that that Galba was there,
Right.
and she was
You
saying.
couldn't see him.
I couldn't see him, but she was saying goodbye to him. You know, and I could. The whole time we were in Italy, I mean, I walked. I would go out. I'd walk the streets, and I didn't feel a stranger.
Right.
I felt like I belonged there. You know, I walked for miles while we were there. You know, by myself. I'd go down. I ended up places where I didn't know where I was. I just kept walking, and I look at the buildings up there and head that way. You know, but I felt
But in Herculaneum, you actually saw it as it was 2,000
as it was.
years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah. But in
Before
Rome,
the
I
eruption.
in Rome,
But
I
in Rome,
seen
it was,
nothing.
you
No,
didn't see anything.
just.
So what happened when you got back to Wales then?
Well, I went across to the cemetery, back to the top of the hill where I'd found the coin, and Katis was there.
You just walked as part of a... You chose to walk there.
Yeah, I
and you
chose
weren't
to
under your
walk
own
there,
control.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I knew I had to go there.
Right, so you felt a draw to you, but
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
more than that.
Yeah, and that's where they were united, and
And what did that look like then?
well, the colour, the place was different. There was no. Once I got to a certain part, there was no stones. It was just like walking in an open area, you know. like if I was back where they had begun, like, you know what I mean,
Right.
that kind of thing, yeah. And
You could feel the emotion at all?
yeah, yeah.
What could you feel?
I could, you know, I seeing them all together, it kind of, you know, it's upsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give you a pat on the back for a job well done. Then,
You're kind of excited, but emotional at the
Yeah.
same
But
time.
this,
Like, yeah.
this is when you realise as well, at the time when you've got the four spirits together, this is when we realise that Bran and Kate is his mother were twins.
Twins,
Oh, right.
yeah.
So they were actually related, which is one of the reasons why Kate is his mother had to come back to Earth, because they were brother and
They were
sister.
brother and sister,
Very, very interesting.
yeah.
Was that the end of it then? Has there been anything since on that storyline?
Yeah. Kate is his wife,
Medica.
Medica, we call
That's
her,
the
yeah.
lady in between,
Yeah.
mother of the
Mother of the
child,
Igea, yeah.
Igea.
I followed her when Igea was sacrificed. Craddock thought that Bran wouldn't be happy with just the child, that he would come for her as well.
Right.
So Craddock convinced her to leave, but she wouldn't leave. And Craddock knew who Bran was, how he was related to Igea. And there was a bit of stuff with the daughter and that, and he actually told her who her father was, Bran.
Right.
She leaves then because she's pregnant, and Craddock wants to protect her and the child.
Right.
She leaves, and I follow her on then with the same kind of thing, seeing bits.
Yeah.
I did end up just outside Gloucester one day where I didn't know how I got there.
Really?
I ended up.
Hopefully you weren't driving.
Yeah, I was driving. Yeah, I don't know how I got there. I something just came into my mind, and I just had to go. I just had to go, and I found
Is
myself.
that in the book? I can't remember.
No,
that.
this is
a continuation.
continuation.
Oh, book 2 then.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
I went. It's strange. I went. Lots of things were happening, and all of a sudden it stopped. And nothing have happened for probably 2 years.
Right.
No,
So you're
I
now
got
about
so far. And
70 now then, is it? Something
yeah,
like
I'm
that?
70. Yeah.
And that's 10 years after the first event.
Yeah.
But nothing has happened for 2 years.
For 2 years, but I was just over 2 years ago. I was in hospital. I had heart problems and fluid on the lungs, and that's when it kind of stopped for me.
It stopped. Oh right, yeah. So they've taken account of your own health conditions then.
That's the only thing. And then I've had a few problems with my uncle. He had cancer, and I've been looking after him.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that because all these things were going on, there was no room for anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. And the power of the emotions as well, by the sound of it.
Yeah. So that's the only thing but I've had a few episodes in the garden, which I go and do a bit of gardening, and then I look around, I got that feeling that somebody's there.
Right.
And one time, I asked Nicola to go and have a look. I was stood there, and I felt quite dizzy, and all these, I don't know what it was, but things were, they looked like shadows of people flash back and forth all around me.
How long ago was this?
Couple of weeks there.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks. If you're a betting man then, would you say you'd put money on having another episode?
But the few that have happened to me a few times with thinking somebody's, and I've heard my name called a few times as well.
Right.
You know, and I think it's Elizabeth calling me. I'd be down the back,
What do you want?
digging the garden, doing a bit of digging or potting about, and and you heard somebody call my name.
So you go up to your wife,
And I think it's
what do you
her,
want?
but it's
And
not.
She says,
Yeah.
what do you mean, what do I want?
But that happens to me frequently.
Right.
But nothing...
You couldn't induce another trance-controlled episode to see things?
no.
Never been able to do it at
No.
will? It's always happened to you?
When...
It's
yeah.
always at somebody else's
Yeah.
control?
It's the
never
same with...
been at your control?
I went to Anglesey. We were arranging to go to Anglesey to see the Stones.
Right.
And it was... on a Saturday night, I can't... Saturday night, I was there at 8 o'clock. And I said to Elizabeth, I got to be in Anglesey in the morning when the sun comes up.
Oh, blimey.
And
It's a long drive, isn't it?
yeah,
I've
never been there before. I get lost going out to the village. I didn't have a map or sat nav. I had some supper and then I left. I got in the car. I got up as far as Merthyr. It's snowing.
Oh, blimey.
There's not a car on the road. I got to go over the beacons, and there's about that much snow on the road.
It's not exactly what you would
And
do.
I couldn't
by
turn
way
back.
of judgment, is it?
I couldn't turn back, and I got over I got over the beacons. I never seen another car, and somehow or another I got over there. When I come down the other side, it was sleet, and it was a change of sleet. I drove in for about 4.25 hours, non-stop. I just drove. I didn't know I just drove. I didn't know where I was going, and I didn't have any map or any notice of places. I just drove. I can't remember going over the bridge.
Well, you wouldn't go over the seven. Oh, the
No,
Anglesey
into
bridge.
Anglesey.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember going there. I got up. I drove into Holyhead. I was a roundabout. I turned. I think it was left on the roundabout. I went down some roads and I there was a junction and I pulled in at the junction. I went up the road. I pulled in by the farm gate. And I looked like that, and the Stones were in the field in front of me.
Blimey. And it was still dark at that point, wasn't it?
No, it was just
Just about to break dawn.
just before dawn. Yeah.
Was Elizabeth with you? Or
No, I was by myself.
you were on your own? Well, that kind of sat-nav like that, who needs electric ones?
Yeah, but I get lost if I go.
Here you go down to Ponty.
Yeah, I'm terrible with Elizabeth will tell you, I'm terrible with directions.
An awful lot of people just wouldn't believe it, but then you're the witness to
And
say...
I got
this is what
there,
happened.
and that's where I seen Bran, and I seen where Anglesey was destroyed by the Romans, and I went through. I followed Bran through the stone, and I come out in what I know now as Northern Ireland, around a huge lake where his ancestor has come from.
Yeah.
And I went through that story there with Bran.
Wow.
And then I'd been there about 3 hours and I was back outside the stone. And I'd seen Bran in the end of the episode. I'd seen him. He wanted to come back. He'd heard news about the Romans, and he wanted to come. He wanted to return to Ur, because he'd been away for a few years.
Right.
And all I wanted to do was go home, because Elizabeth said, book in somewhere for the night now, you know, because
She didn't come with you, so
No.
it was over the telephone,
No.
was it?
before I left, she said, book in for the night, don't, but because he was eager to get back, I wanted to do the same. I didn't want to stay, I wanted
Right.
to go home.
So you witnessed the dawn of the Stones, had another
3 or 4 hours there, and
trance-like
drove
episode.
home and slept for the day and a half.
And then just jump back in the car, and it's got to be a 4-hour drive, hasn't it?
Well, I
From
think
South
it took me
Wales
about
to
4.25 hours to get up there.
And admittedly, you might not need a map because you
Yeah.
just join the A470 and head north.
Yeah.
No, you do
But,
need
But you turn in various places. You can either go left for Pettersacoid and up,
Yeah.
Or
I don't know
or you
which
go
way
more inland, don't you?
I don't know which way I went.
Me and Steve went there a few years after, and we knew exactly where, because we'd Google Earthed it, we knew where we were going, but we still had a job to find it using
The map
Google,
and so
yeah.
on.
Because there's so many country roads and things that take you lefts and rights that actually to get to the point. So to find it and your own volition like that, well,
Yeah.
it's just,
It's incredible.
yeah.
Especially we had trouble finding where you live,
Yeah,
yeah, Malcolm. You know, if we'd followed the sat nav, we'd have ended up in Derry. So here we are with Nicola Jones, author of Walking in Their Footsteps. An incredible story we've just heard from your father, Nicola.
Yeah.
How was this story impacted on the family?
Well, I suppose when Dad says at the beginning that he was afraid to tell anybody, he did keep it to himself for a little while. But during that time, you'd come and visit, and you could kind of tell that something was playing on his mind, but he obviously wouldn't tell anybody. And there'd be times where he'd be sat down and you could see that he was like, you know, when somebody's like daydreaming, they're sat and they're daydreaming, so they're here but they're not quite here. So that was going for a little while, and it wasn't until one day when I happened to just come in and my mum and dad were talking about it, and they went and stopped talking. I went, okay, said, what's happening? And then my dad sat down and told me what happened, and I was just like, okay. I thought, I need to write this down, because it was so fascinating, the story, and the detail that he went into was just like, I thought, how can you get so much detail in a story that had just taken him off? And so that's
Plus the emotion that was occurring at every turn of the story. There's emotion with it, isn't there?
I'm a believer. I believe in the spirit world,
life beyond physical
life. Yeah. I believe in all of that, because I have actually had witness to spirit in this house, and as I was growing up, so I knew that there was more than just us, you know. So when he told me, and for my own kind of like purposes, really, because I'm into family history and genealogy and stuff like that as well, so I just wrote it down just for my own records, and then more kept happening, so I'd have to write more each time. Then he'd sit down and he'd tell me about each event that happened, and he kind of like thought, oh, it started like piecing the puzzles together. And then obviously the more we went on, then more coincidences would join together with family connections, you know, the birthmarks, and sort of like the one strange fact that it was like my grandfather, my dad's dad, had sickle cell anemia. Now he didn't find out he was sickle cell until he was about 74, something like that.
In his 70s, yeah.
It's just not common anymore.
He was 74 years old when he found out he had sickle cell anemia, which obviously is only found in Black, Afro-Caribbean or Mediterranean.
Some Mediterranean heritage somewhere. Yeah.
Which led us then to doing Dad's DNA test. You know, on Ancestry.com, we sort of like sent away for the DNA kit, which kind of like found out that we were from sort of like Eastern Europe and across sort of like about 40,000 years ago. We went back as far as like. So yeah.
How has it affected the family though? The knowledge that you're having these experiences.
Well, I know it. We did a psychometry test on the coin by a medium who came to the house, and she told me that it didn't belong to me and that my dad shouldn't take this journey, but I didn't tell him. So that was a secret that I kept.
She felt the heat in it, didn't she?
Yeah, she knew, she could tell where it'd been, and that it'd come across in sort of like, you know, traumatic circumstances where it didn't belong to me, but the person who did belong to, Dad, was to embark on a journey. but he shouldn't.
Oh.
So of course
She
I
didn't
didn't.
offer any explanation why not.
No, he
No.
said he just shouldn't go
Alright.
on this journey. So I kept that, and then obviously then my brother then he said, I don't think you should be going. I don't think you should be going. I think it's gonna. No, I shouldn't. I don't think it's gonna be good. What if something happens? What if something? And he was like thinking about the bad things that could have happened. So it was kind of like, it did kind of like put us in two positions. Well, do we go? Do we stay? What do I do for the best? Do I tell Dad that he shouldn't go? But then I knew that even if I did tell him that he shouldn't go,
I'd have gone
he
anyway.
You would
was
have gone
adamant
anyway,
that he had to go, no matter what. He
Did I-
had to go.
Did I tell you the coin? Kate's mother gave him the coin when he left.
When he left
To
Rome.
pay, when he joined the army and he left Rome, she gave him the coin to pay the ferryman if anything happened to him.
All right.
He used the coin, he put the coin in Aegea's mouth just before they cremated her,
Mm.
and where they cremated her was on the top of the hill where
You found the
I found the coin.
Ah, right.
And that's why the museum said the coin had been
Subjected to heat.
subjected to heat at some time.
Incredible, yeah.
Mm.
Do you want to see the coin?
Later, yeah. Not right now.
Okay.
Has it brought the family closer together or pushed people apart or in any way?
We've always been a close family.
So it hasn't affected it.
No.
They were all kind of interested and
Yeah.
involved in it. And my son and my other daughter,
Yeah.
the grandchildren, they were all fascinated by the story. They've all
Yeah.
read the book and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody's supporting then.
yeah, they're all
Yeah.
supporting. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it affected you then, Malcolm?
I get my days where I'm not really here, when all these things are still going on in my mind. I'm still trying to come to terms with everything.
Yeah.
Elizabeth knows when I'm not here.
Yeah, I can tell as well,
As well,
because
yeah.
it is kind of like when you go into like a trance-like state, he's kind of like, he's here, but there's kind of like vacant eyes, but you know
Yeah.
that there's a lot going on
Yeah.
there.
You see, I've seen things that to me is impossible,
Mm.
Right.
but I've seen them.
And you felt the
Yeah,
emotion and the, as if it was a lucid.
I seen them. I
experience.
seen one of the twins from the early beginning carry a stone which was as big as him,
It's
all the way
almost
from
impossible, isn't it?
all the way from Anglesey to Guthrie.
Yeah.
And when I was coming back from Anglesey, I thought, how did he carry that stone all this distance?
Yeah.
And why stop at Guthrie? You know.
Yeah. And where is it now? And
We don't know.
some of that is detailed in the book. Isn't
Well, the stone, up until, we didn't know, but up until 17 something, there was a standing stone in the fields below the church.
it? Right.
But for some reason, it disappeared.
And it's been
More than
since.
likely, the farmers have broke it up to build walls and things, because that's what they did.
That's what they do in Wales.
Yeah,
They still do it now.
yeah. So but it's documented that there was a stone there.
Yeah.
And I actually seen the people throw the stone over the banking and it rolling down. And the following morning, I actually seen the stone up straight as if it had always been there.
Right. But you can't find that stone now, although it is
I've
in,
looked. Yeah,
historical records from the
Yeah.
1790s. Or
yeah.
So wasn't
Yeah.
there in the book just some suspicion that it may have been in the church or the rectory of the church
Rectory, yeah.
as a stone on the flagstone floor?
Flagstone floor, yeah. Yeah, it could be. And I as I say, I've looked, and I can't find nothing.
But the rectory now is now a block of flats, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, block of
So
flats.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't know which flat to go in,
No.
but they wouldn't have a flagstone floor any
No.
longer, would they?
Well,
It
one
was,
of
it was
the
a friend of mine who
forts.
told me that. A friend of mine said that because obviously she read the book and she had some connection. She felt she had some connection to the story because she'd been over the cemetery to visit her mum and had seen this dark tall shadow when she'd visited the cemetery. So she felt that as soon as she read the book, she had some kind of connection to the story. And it was her that told me that she'd been in the old rectory some years ago, because she worked for the council, and she'd been in there, and she almost swears that she's seen the stone with the Irish writing on there in the
In the
floor.
rectory.
In the floor.
Floor in the...
She couldn't sort of like 100% recall that it was that stone,
Yeah.
but she had a feeling.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting. So how has it changed you then, Malcolm?
I don't take nothing for granted anymore. And
Has it made you more spiritual in any way?
oh, I believe now. Yeah, I didn't before, but
What do you believe?
it's impossible for what happened to me
Not to have
not to
some effect,
disprove
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So what do you believe now then?
Well, I believe that the spirits are around us. My mother, my father, and I've never seen anything else or witnessed anything else.
Even
and-
though Nicola had witnessed spirit people in this house.
Yeah,
which is-
I've the only thing I see is the bits in the garden, the flashing,
Yeah.
but I've never actually physically anything else other than what's involved in the story.
Right.
They're the only
That's the only
things
incidences you've
that have
had
ever happened to
was
me.
described
yeah,
in the book
yeah,
relating to this
Yeah.
story. But it goes back 4,000 years, doesn't it?
yeah,
2,000 years before the
Forward,
Roman era
yeah,
and
yeah.
2,000 years since.
Since yeah,
So it's an incredible story.
yeah.
Did you ever have any depression or anything before?
No,
So you never had any
I'm
changes
no,
in
I
mental state?
I don't. I let things go in my head. I don't. I worry about the children and the grandchildren, but I don't. I'm never depressed or
You've never been
I
depressed or
never
anything like
never go into any
He's also
depression.
teetotal.
that? And you're totally
Yeah,
teetotal. And so
I'm-
since the experience, has that altered in any way? You've been more happier or do you in fact
yeah, it's
feel the opposite? Because that can have if you see such beauty in an altered state, sometimes it can leave the reality of this
depressed.
side
Yeah.
inadequate, with feelings of inadequacy maybe.
No,
No visible effect whatsoever?
no, really. It's changed my look on life a bit. You know, as I said, I don't take anything for granted, and
You got no fear of your own crossing over now or anything
no,
like that?
no.
And what about bereavements in the family then? How do you relate to them?
Yeah, my uncle just
subsequent to
died,
this
which I was really close to, and I believe that he's now with his mother and father and his brothers and sisters, and you know, that's
So that's helped you cope a little bit better then? has it?
yeah. You know, I was sad when he died, but I wasn't. I didn't go into any depression or anything. You know, part of living is dying. We just make the best of
The time here.
well,
on this
we are,
side?
yeah. That's my philosophy, and
Excellent.
I don't get depressed. I'm quite easygoing.
So this
Yeah.
story really has added an extra dimension of quality to your life then?
Yeah, in a way, yeah, because especially seeing it in the book, because like we only Nicola writes everything down, no matter what she writes it down, and that's what we thought. You know, we'll just write it down for our benefits, and I was pleased to see the book
Yeah.
because not so much for me, but for Nicola, because she wrote it. You know, so
Yeah.
I just told her the story.
Yeah.
But it's her book. You know what I mean?
Well, if it was unfolding to you piecemeal in three different time zones, whereas the book now puts it in a
Yeah.
more logical order, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With the start with the
That's the only thing
the
I
dream.
couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
the finding of the coin with the metal detecting, and then the concrete experiences you've perceived.
Because I suppose I said to Nicola, don't just pour what happened.
Yeah.
Don't
And that's how we
Embellish
did
it, don't
Yeah,
elaborate. Just say it
Yeah,
as you
it
can
was,
recall
yeah.
it. Yeah.
and maybe the next book may be better to make more of a story of it. But
I think it's an interesting story, as it
Yeah.
panned out.
Yeah.
Where can our viewers?
Well, if
acquire
you contact me
your
on my Facebook address is the best, and I can send
And what's
you
your
a
Facebook
signed-
address?
I think it's Nicola Jones Author, and then my email address will be there, and I'll send them direct to the people, because then it's I can send a signed copy then. That's what I prefer to do. Yeah.
Right, you don't send it via Amazon at all?
You can buy it, you can get it on Amazon.
On Amazon
yeah,
as well.
But I don't think there's a lot of other people selling the book on Amazon.
Right.
So
I
it
was
kind
pleased
of like
'cause-
costs more.
Yeah.
I was pleased because Nicola had done the story,
Yeah.
and my son did the cover and things. So
Yeah.
Well, the day we went over to Mine Katu, the Cupstones, I
Yeah.
don't know if you can see this on the camera. The day we went over to the stone, Nicola and myself, the farmers had recently been muck spreading, and it was coated, wasn't it? Now that has got acid in it, that muck,
yeah,
and it will destroy the evidence. So it's incredible that you put down your testimony in a book and on film
yeah,
to say exactly what occurred in your life,
yeah.
how you perceived it, the effects of it, for future generations, because you can see at some point.
That's another thing. I feel responsible for it
Right.
somehow or another.
Yeah.
Like if I should look after
Custodian of
it,
the
like if it
story.
was my,
Yeah.
like if it was mine, but it's not.
No, you're just
And
party
you
of
can't
it.
do. I can't. You know. If I had my way, there'd be a glass cage around it,
Yeah.
or something to protect it, because of eventually it will.
The
there'd be
acid
nothing
in the
there.
muck spreading
Yeah.
will affect
Yeah.
the surface.
But the archaeologists don't have the same view
They
about
never do.
the stone. No.
No.
The
Have you-
stone to them is how do they describe it? As
Just
Rock art.
rock
art,
yeah.
rock
Have
art.
you been able to add anything to history, the historical record, by producing this information?
No.
You haven't changed any of the story of Roman Britain.
No, it's just my opinion. Archaeologists are set in their ways.
Yeah,
If you read the story about Gethiger Fort,
yeah,
there was 5 Roman coins found when they did the dig there, and they dated. They said that in I think it was 117 something. The fort was abandoned. Yet I found in the cemetery, me and 2 others had over 400 Roman, what we call grots, Roman coins,
Yeah.
dating right up to the 3rd and 4th century.
right.
So that knocks their theory on the head,
Yeah.
but they write the rules of the thing. So
Yeah.
I mean, the bathhouse, they did a dig in 2000 and 1900 or around that period, or 19 something. They did another one in 62, I think, and they found out that the bathhouse had been we call it
Rebuilt, is it? Or?
not rebuilt, refurbished in the 3rd century. Now you don't abandon something and then
Go
refurbish
back
it.
there and put a bath.
But
to
according to
it.
the people who are supposed to have the knowledge,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Well, the whole history of Roman Britain is totally up in argument.
Yeah,
They're arguing over it like crazy.
yeah, yeah.
And
But you
like
can't
so-
change. You won't. I did some. I do a lot with the. We were looking at the stones, you know, the around the mountain and at the
Capstones and
the Bronze Age kiss and things, you know, because there's lots of them up there.
Is it?
Yeah, there's tons up on the mountain, up on Gethiger
For us to go
Mountain.
somewhere. Next
And,
time we'll take it on the map. We'll go up there ourselves with Camera Club.
And yeah, you know, the archaeologist that was with us, you know, she said, if you look at the stone, if the Mine Katu had been there for 2,000, say, we'll just say 2,000 years, then the ground would have been built up around it.
Earthworms
Natural-
would have raised the earth, wouldn't they?
Natural a foot, 1,000 years natural build-up.
Yeah.
But
It's clear of the ground.
but it's
isn't
clear of the ground.
it? Yeah.
So I tried to say to her, that the stone couldn't have been there.
No.
But, oh no, it's been there, and that's rock art.
Yeah.
Now, if you put rock art on a stone,
Yeah.
all them cut marks should be the same size. There's 2,000 years of wear on it.
Yeah.
So they didn't do it in stages. It's not join the dots up, is it?
No.
If you was going to put rock art on something, you'd cover the stone. But no, you've got some that are barely visible, and you've got others, you can actually see the stage of wear on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got some there, you can actually, if you look at it, you can actually see the stage of wear on it.
Yeah.
So,
We'll have to go over to the stone. You up for that or not?
Yeah, whatever you want to go in.
Fancy that, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.